So what I want to do, I want to talk about 2019.
Yep.
This as part of the gaming side of our podcast.
Yep. It's a good kickoff podcast.
There are other things that I think we can talk about, like what we did before was fucking awesome.
What we could do, the bit that we talked about before, which was actually kind of an interesting conversation.
I'd have that I'd upload that as our sneak preview.
Sneak preview of the shit that's about to happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'd do.
Yep.
That's our upload.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. That'll keep the guys happy. Here's a 20-minute snippet of just stupidity.
But I want to talk about this is what you can also potentially upload. I want to talk about 2019 as a gaming landscape, because I think unlike previous years and unlike many other years that we've had probably for the last 10 years, this is a big year because I really think Microsoft are going to come out at E3 in June and they're going to absolutely do their absolute most to get the center stage.
And so you should. I mean, they are the only ones there.
Apart from the third parties.
What, in terms of an actual console manufacturer?
Yeah, I think they're going to come out, and I wouldn't put it past them that they reveal whatever the Project Scarlet
is. Yeah,
well, we know they're a family of products, but I actually think they're going to come out and say, here it is, and it's going to be either next year or it's going to be the end
Christmas
of this
launch
year.
Or whatever.
Here's the price. It's a fucking gargantuan of a machine,
X Cloud out of the box,
or it's an X Cloud, and it's affordable. And guess what? We're doing crazy shit too. You can play these games on your Xbox One, so don't fucking freak out. There'll be all sorts of shit, right? And I also think they're going to partner up with a lot of third parties because their first party studios they've currently bought aren't ready yet to hit the go button. But they will show some stuff.
They'd have to be actively building stuff though.
They are, but they're going to show some stuff from these first party studios they've spent a fortune on. And they're going to say, oh, this is our new game with our partners at In Exile. Here's what Compulsion's working on now. Whatever the studio is, they're going to show off what definitely I think will come out this year, which is Gears 5. They'll show that off. They're going to give us concrete dates maybe on a Halo game, but I think Halo might be a launch game for Scarlet.
Potentially, yeah.
They need something big for Scarlet, right?
Halo would do it.
Yeah, Halo will do it. And I think at the end of the day, they're going to come out swinging. At the same time, I think Sony are not complete Muppets. I have some faith in them because they know what they're doing. They've said, we didn't go to PAX last year. We're not going to E3. Not going to E3 is...
It's a big one. Yeah.
Well, it is, but it's also smart. If you don't have anything to show, why go?
Well, they get shit canned by people like us.
Well, they do, no matter what. They get shit canned. Like, I shit canned them in 2018 when they didn't do anything. They showed 4 games we already knew about, and they spent time fucking around in studios and dicking around and playing music on stage. That's all great, but I want concrete direction.
I want to see something new. I want to know what's coming out.
Yeah, so I think they're smart, but I do think that they will be somewhere in 2019 on a stage, probably... their PSX event it's usually December.
Usually, yep.
Or they might do a Tokyo Game Show. I doubt it, but I think
that'd be fun.
I think they'll do a PSX, and they're going to come out swinging too. And it's the first time I really think in a very long time both companies are not going to completely fuck up. I'm not going to say that they're not going to make a mistake that go, oh, what'd you do that?
They're not going to Bethesda it.
They're not going to Bethesda it. They're not going to do a PS3. Where they launched it.
Peter Fee's looking at me. What do you mean by Bethesda it?
Oh fuck! Don't start me, man. Don't fucking.
What's a computer game?
Oh no! Can you hear the sound of ovaries drying up?
That's it.
Yeah,
that's his. Yeah,
he had ovaries when he walked in. Now he doesn't have
No, they're gone.
them. It'll go to your testicles.
Well, I've got Vault Boy right there as a mask.
You're gonna learn, Peter. You're gonna learn a lot.
You're going to learn a lot about shit you don't need to know about.
Right. And you're gonna have an appreciation on the underworld. That's really the overworld.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Strap yourself in with Oki straps because you won't need fucking seatbelts for this ride. You need like Oki straps because this is an education.
Uh-huh.
You're about to get educated.
I think I'd rather get thrown from the vehicle.
I would too. I've been on this ride for 30-something years now, 36, 37 years, and I can't get off. Right? But
what I'm gnawing at the seatbelt.
No, you can't. You're fucking in, man.
You're in all the way, man.
You've joined-
Let's be honest. What else are you going to do with your time?
What else you got? You got.
Pottery.
You got pottery.
That's pretty cool.
I'm pretty useless at it, but yeah.
No, mate, that was impressive today, man.
I'll tell you what. That urn.
Yeah.
That would win fucking awards out of Fate.
I reckon you could.
That would win awards.
It's full Japanese style, man.
It looks the shit, man.
Yeah, no, I've done a few other things similar to that.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
I like what I saw.
How did you ever use your chimney pot thingo maker that you?
Yeah, it works.
It does work.
Hey, you know what? Will you come on?
Fucking hilarious.
Will you come on and tell us about pottery?
Yeah, sure. But
Because I don't know anything about pottery.
That extruder, I made a 9-ton extruder. So it's just like, think of the concept is the clay's like toothpaste, and you want to squirt that toothpaste out through a nozzle that's the right shape. Problem is, clay is like 20 kilos of dirt. It doesn't want to move very easily, so you need a proper ram to really push it out through the extruder. So you have to make this thing with a 9-ton ram pushing a piston, squeezing this clay out through this, the 10mm thick stainless steel nozzle. And the whole problem is, like, when you first hook the thing up, you think to yourself, that's a 9-ton press that I'm about to hook up to an air supply.
I could fuck some shit up.
I don't know what's about to happen. It could be an explosion.
You know what?
It worked.
Is it me? And it probably is. But I just thought of jail because all I heard was ram, small hole.
Yeah.
Bars, stainless steel.
Bars, pushing something through a small hole.
So this all started
I'm done.
because you thought it was outrageously expensive to fix the chimney.
My fucking chimney, yeah. Need a new fireplace. Tore out the fireplace, fixed up the bricks, so did all the funny stuff you're meant to do. And then on top of the chimney, you got chimney pots, which is a plant pot with no base. Honestly, that's all it is. Terracotta plant pot, fairly tall plant pot. Normally a plant pot's got a small hole in the bottom. I just need a big hole. Turn it upside down.
Talking about holes again.
That's a chimney pot. Pretty simple. Should be $10. Same as a plant pot from Bunnings. Instead, it's $200. And I'm thinking, this ain't right. Why can't you just talk to a local potter and say,
make me one?
Yeah. Pot. I'll give you, $50. I don't want to pay $200 for a plant pot.
How much money? How much money did you just spend on the extruder?
So $2,200. But it was a learning experience. A lot of fun welding. It was good, and I bought a lovely plasma cutter.
Which is kind of fun.
Got to use the TIG welder to do it every day. So no, it was a value, I reckon.
See, whenever I hear terracotta, I immediately think of that System of a Down song. What was it? Symphony of the Eye? Whatever the one that goes terracotta, terracotta, terracotta pie. Have you heard of this?
Terracotta?
I don't know if terracotta was the right word.
Probably panna cotta.
Panna cotta? Panna cotta. That doesn't...
Is it panna cotta or terracotta?
Probably not panna
I don't know. Panna cotta doesn't sound right for a metal song.
No, I'm sure. Google that.
What?
System of a
They
Down.
do have a sense of humour.
I think it's not panna cotta pie. It's terracotta pie.
Terracotta pie.
It's not. It's actually symphony. I think it's Symphony of the Eye. I think. I don't know.
Of the eye.
Yeah, give it a go.
Give it a go.
What it come
Vicinity of Obscenity. That's it. That's the song. Vicinity of Obscenity.
Okay.
Have you heard of that one?
I'm sure I know the song.
We can't. We'll get struck. But that is that's the one. See, you can't even do the lyrics. We'll get fucked on that as well. But that's the one where it goes terracotta, terracotta, terracotta pie. So you're telling me about pottery, bars, jamming small holes.
Yeah, no, look, you turn this compressor on and you just suddenly get this tube of clay that's literally 20 centimeters wide and 70 centimeters long. It just grows out of this thing. It's just this tube of perfectly formed clay. You just cut off from the bottom, done, chimney pot.
Aren't we all perfectly formed clay?
That's that was a business opportunity. You should follow that.
No, I was gonna keep going with that, but I just keep putting it off.
You keep doing shit like this for your weekend.
It's like
So you shouldn't be here. You should be.
No, it's like
you should be ramming clay through a pipe
it's
or
like
a hole.
lottery ticket in your wallet. It's a winner until proven otherwise. So you leave it in your wallet for years because you've got that winning lottery ticket. When you're out of money, you're just cashing that lottery.
Surely
ticket.
they expire though.
I'm sure 100% of the time it's not a winning lottery ticket. But until you actually take it to the newsagent and they put it through the machine and go, "Nah, dude, you got nothing." Until that happens, it's a winning lottery ticket. And so that's the same.
Incredibly optimistic.
That's the same with this clay extruder. It's just like, this is a brilliant business opportunity. I want to be making chimney pots. It's going to cost me $20 to make one. I'm going to sell it for $200 each. That's not a bad thing to do.
That's a massive markup.
But I've already got a customer. I've got a very big place that wants to buy these things, and I keep putting them off. But until I really have to do it, I don't want to actually pursue it, knowing that it might not work. And until I pursue it and it doesn't work, it's a winning idea.
See, I've got a business name for you
Stop
too.
sitting on it.
I've got a business name for you. System of the Pottery.
System of the pot.
Yeah, System of the Pot.
You'd make a fortune, man. You'd get
you
all
would.
sorts of weird callers, though.
Yeah, that is the problem.
Especially up here in this picturesque location we're in.
Like a shocking idea. But,
so we can talk about pottery.
We can talk about pottery.
I don't know how we got from pottery from game.
I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about. Xbox, but because Peter looked quite bored.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna drink.
Go get a drink. Go nuts.
Actually, it should be like a bar.
Yeah, well, we can make that happen.
We needed, before we started this, because I really need a coffee. I'm
You fucking had one. 10.
That was number 6.
No, this is be fucking 8 now.
Fuck me.
I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble, man. I got problems. But I was like, I'm tired today, and with that comes silly decisions,
like doing this.
And I didn't get my afternoon power nap, so it's going to throw out everything tonight.
Oh, the power nap.
Yeah, we've got a night of drinking ahead of us.
Oh, is that what you guys are doing?
That's what we do whenever we get the chance.
Right.
Yeah.
We haven't figured out what we're doing for food yet. We might as well just
corn chips and dip.
it.
We should talk about
board
games.
Board games.
Because I don't have a lot of knowledge about board games at all.
Where's Sam when you need her?
Oh my god.
I don't know about board games, but I wouldn't mind having a chat about that. I think the other thing is the landscape of 2019 from an electronic video game. Those things.
I reckon technology in general, right?
I don't know.
Well, that's where you get people in, right?
There's a couple of things, right? There's what's happening with the smartphones, right? Because it seems like everyone wants a fucking hole in their phone on the screen. That's smart.
Bloody selfies. That's the whole problem.
Fuck the selfies. I want a full screen. I don't give a shit about. If I was more,
stupid.
it's fucking stupid. Fuck the camera.
I agree. Fuck the camera off altogether. I don't need that shit.
Because they got the notch for that reason.
Yes, specifically so they could put a fucking camera in. So now it looks
like Samsung are going to put like a hole punch on the left-hand side of the screen.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Have a Google it. Google S10 images, and you'll see.
Are they legit though?
No, 100%. Yeah. They because I think they may have even shown stuff at CES. They're 100%.
Looking at the pop-up version too. Having the actual camera just pop up.
I've seen.
What about the foldable stuff? What do you think about that?
How does that work?
What is it?
You haven't seen foldables. All right, so that's kind of the next thing.
So have a look at the S10.
Oh, is that it? There?
Yeah, no. The one on that one.
Yeah, that one there.
That one, yeah.
The hole punch.
That's it. That's it.
It looked like the back of the phone. I'd get confused.
No, that's the front.
I'd be like, what the? Wow. It looks the same as the back of the phone.
Now, I personally want to upgrade. I've got an S8, which I think's cool.
This is up for.
So I wouldn't mind upgrading, but I don't know if I can do, because I looked at the notch on the Apple 10 when it came out, and I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah,
that just annoys me, right?
A lot of people hate that.
It just annoys me.
It's not great.
If you're OCD like I am, I can't. I fucking can't do it.
You need a one
screen video. How horrible is that?
It's got a bite out of it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what it is? It's like fucking Jaws came out of the ocean and took a chomp out of it.
The Mega.
Yeah, it looks broken.
Yeah.
The Meg, whatever the fuck that movie was.
Oh, Megalodon.
The Megalodon.
Jesus.
But I'm talking about Jaws in 1975.
No, I saw it on net. It's either Netflix or something. Yeah, it was fucking advertising.
But having looked at the S10, and that's not the only phone that's going to be like that this year.
We need some better internet.
I don't. Fuck. Well, that's not going to work.
It will.
We are on a shoestring budget, folks.
It's more my internet's fucking garbage.
But they've got this hole punch, and that's where the camera is, and I believe the Face ID and all that stuff. But I think that's actually even worse than the notch because it's actually in the screen.
Yeah.
Whereas the notch is on the border.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one in person, obviously. I don't know, but I looked at some of the images on it, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah, I think was it Oppo and and OnePlus as well. Their next one is rumored to have a pop-up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's. I think it's the Oppo now has the. So when you
we're going back to flip phones, where
pretty much, like mechanical things.
Mechanical shit.
You know what I think is hilarious? Back in the 90s, even the early 2000s, everyone was thinking phones were going to get a lot smaller.
They're fucking big.
And everyone used to laugh at people. Well, everyone used to laugh at people. You fucking... If you're in the 90s, you got laughed at if you had a big fuck off phone. Now, everyone wants, look how big my fucking screen... Like, fuck off. You've gone backwards. You've gone backwards.
There's a lot of backwards movement. We've been talking about that today.
Now they want to fold... What's this foldable shit?
Well, I'm trying to pull it up if the fucking internet would work. But the idea being that you'd start off with a screen this size and it would actually fold over and you'd end up with almost like an iPad-esque.
No seam.
With no seam.
Okay, can I ask a question? Yeah. Is it like fucking Donkey Kong in 1982?
Not as cool.
Except it's made it up
seamless.
Perfectly. There's no line.
Because that Donkey Kong was the shit. I've got one.
Oh, yeah,
that was the shit. Actually, you could tell the difference between the poor kids and the rich kids in 1983.
Because they had one of those things.
If you had a Donkey Kong Fold 1, you're
What
rich.
was that thing we used to have to stick under the light?
Oh, that was a Game & Watch. Now, Nintendo only made 4 of them. I've got all 4. And they had Donkey Kong Jr.
Is that the one we had? I remember it being like a beige. It was a beige colour.
Okay, here's the story.
Yeah. Right. Go for it.
I was given by Grandma, rest in peace. She gave me the Donkey Kong Jr. game where's your fucking net?
Oh,
she gave me the Donkey Kong Jr. one, and you're right. It was backlit. So you had
we used to sit under the windowsill.
It had a backlight on it.
Yeah.
They're very rare, Peter. They're very rare. Yeah.
What do you mean? Everything's backlit.
Well,
back then
back then it wasn't. It had like a light on top of it.
Yeah.
And you had to.
What was it called again?
What was it? A Game & Watch backlit or something. My mind's gone today. I don't know any. Fuck this internet. So anyway, this has to improve.
I'm gonna have to get it cabled.
This is bad, man. How far away from the Wi-Fi are you? A long way.
What have I got 4G? Oh, I don't even have 4G. Fuck me.
These are dark days.
NBN's here in April, they keep saying, Pete.
Oh, bullshit.
April?
Yeah, I guess, when was the last time they said April?
Wait,
this year. Okay, so...
Who's getting it, though?
We are.
Like Hazelbrook?
It says Hazelbrook 5th of April cutoff time, but they said that 2 years ago, so I'm not exactly confident that it's going to happen.
Yeah,
well, anyway, they had 4 of these things. They had, I believe it was Mario Cement.
Here you go. This fucking thing.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was one. It was bigger. It was like a...
No, it was a tabletop. In fact, actually, I lie. It
was more like that thing.
No, I lie. Yeah. I believe it's called Game & Watch Tabletop. My apologies.
You fucked up.
I did. I do that a lot. But when you have half a brain in a jar somewhere...
True story.
You'll have a fucking problem. I believe they made 4 of them. Tabletop. There was Snoopy. There was...
We had DK.
I had DK.
Yeah.
And I had, I've since got all of them. So they had 4. There's variants of them, but the original, I believe, was 4. And there was Donkey Kong Country, there was Snoopy, there was Mario Cement.
Mario Cement?
Or Mario Oil something, or Mario something. Oh, fuck, I don't know, it's at home. And there was another one, Popeye. Popeye was the 4th one. That was the green one. And the story is that I had from Grandma, right? She'd given me the Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Jr. one, and I don't know how, but that's it.
That's it. There.
That's it.
This fucker.
That's it. Donkey Kong. Now I got the Popeye one.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, okay. So here's the story. I had it as a kid, and I think you got it. I gave it to you. You got the hand-me-downs.
I don't remember.
Well, that's your place in life.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened to it. Like everything, I gave it to you.
You know where it probably is? No, I didn't. No, I don't remember ever getting that. I've got a feeling Dad's probably got it in the roof somewhere.
No, I don't think so. I think it's gone. But
they might have tossed it, man.
They probably. Well, I had a fucking Star Trek beanbag, and Mum tossed that, so anything's fucking possible.
Probably turn yellow and I throw it away.
Probably turned yellow, and they didn't use true white.
Going back, that's a nice.
That's a segue.
That's a not. Is it?
So anyway, I here's a story. I was on an eBay fucking run at work. I was on a run. Here's the beauty of it. Those Game & Watch tabletops are very expensive. I paid $800 to get one. Actually, no, it's a lie. I paid $400, but they're $800 completely boxed.
Yeah, okay.
That's the going rate. They're very, very expensive because they're quite rare. You can buy them, but
particularly if they're working. Well,
that's the thing. Most of them are very scratched up or very damaged.
Because kids like us fucked them up.
They're old. I think they're talking like very early to mid 80s.
Yeah.
They only made 4 different types.
It would have to have been early 80s because I was playing it.
I think we're talking like 84. Right. And I remember 84 because that was the year that the Eurythmics, released a fucking album that I remember.
Changed your life?
Didn't actually, but it actually scarred me.
I give up.
But that was literally a very big deal, and they're very collectible even now because they're not easy to find. And if you get on eBay, they're very expensive. So if someone's selling them in the box with the manual and they're untouched, they're mint, you're talking... I
just want to figure out how people still have that shit untouched.
They went back...
Mint. Hoarders, right?
No. They went back in time. They got the DeLorean and they went back in time and they...
There's no other explanation.
Because if you've got that... I mean, I regret throwing that out because that was actually... I really liked it. That was... At the time, that was unbelievable.
No, I remember it. It was actual
the
DK.
The Game & Watches you remember, they were black and white. This was color. That was
in the early 80s. Mind blown.
Did we
have the 2600 yet? Or was that this around
2600 we got in 1983.
Yep, okay.
Right. So the 2600 we got in 1983 and that was the Vader. That wasn't the original wood grain. We got the Vader one.
You've got the wood grain now, do you?
No, I didn't get the wood grain. I've still got our original
house. Yeah, with my chewed joystick.
No, I've replaced it.
Yeah.
But it's actually hard to find the original.
I was a baby.
He fucked everything.
He chewed on the joystick.
He chewed on the joystick. I had a collection of Mr. Men books.
Yeah.
And he fucked them as well.
Oh, awesome.
I'm telling you, I had
everything, didn't
dude. I had everyone. Let me tell you the fucking
full collection. That was a big
he had this shit too, Captain Picard. They're his toys.
They were my toys. But I had everything. I had the Mr. Men books. Mint. I'm talking mint. Gave it to him. What's he do with them?
Digested them.
No, close. He wedged them between the toilet door and
sliding
the wall.
Door.
We used to have a sliding door in the toilet with like a little hook, so he couldn't just walk in on people having a shit. And he got the books, right? And he slid the books between the fucking door and the wall. And Mum's in there one day taking a shit, I think.
And we only have one bathroom.
You mean in the pocket?
Mate, in the warp, the cavity.
Oh Christ!
And Mum's trying to do a business, and he's trying to, Mum, and she's like, leave me alone. And he's like, well, I'll fucking show you. But he showed me because he had my Mr. Men books, which are now collectible, and he put them in the wall cavity.
You could get that out if you really try hard enough.
They fucking did when they renovated the house 30 years later.
Did they get it out?
They got them out.
Really?
Yes, they did.
Why the fuck didn't they give them to us?
Because they left them in they're in your old room. They're in a cabinet.
No shit.
No shit.
How many are we talking about?
Quite a few. About 10.
You shoved 10 into the
No,
wall?
yeah. I only shoved one in.
No, fuck off. They found a few.
Did they?
Yes.
So
So we're going like, because Mum and Dad have been in the same house for like nearly 40 years.
Yeah.
And so Dad, when he retired, we had nothing better to do. So he's gone, fuck it. Woke up one morning, I'll renovate the bathroom. He's
So
like,
smash the whole thing down, as you do.
Smash the fuck out of it.
well,
So he knocked out the wall, took the door down the whole bit. And I think it was Mum who remembered. She's got a great memory. She's like, hey, I bet we find those Mr. Men books because I was fucking at it for years going, well, I give him everything, he ruined everything. And you know what? They found those Mr. Men books in the wall cavity.
But wouldn't they have been all rubbed up from?
Oh, they were fucked. They were covered in dead cockroaches, spider webs.
Yeah.
They were not in good nick, but they were there. The other thing, I don't know if you remember this, Matchbox cars used to come in a cardboard box.
Yeah.
They used to come in a cardboard. Google that.
I know they did.
They used to come.
You can buy them again now in cardboard boxes.
Can you?
Yeah, you can buy.
They used to come in a cardboard box. Now, me, being me, I'd play with the car and then I'd put it back in the fucking box and I'd put it on the shelf in order.
And you see why he's.
And I don't.
The way he
It
is,
explains a lot, right? So I was like, okay, well, here's the thing. When you grow up and you get to a certain age, you just forget what's what. You don't play with things anymore. You move on. And you never believed back in those days, the 80s and the 90s, that these things would be worth anything. You never put, like, we had every Atari 2600 game, and I'm talking at least 50
We had
games
some fucking great
boxed
games. Yeah.
in the box. Now, if I go on eBay now, some of those games are worth quite a bit. Right? Like the old Nintendo games, like all that stuff. So the Matchbox cars I had, they were in the original cardboard box, and they were made in England before they went to Malaysia or
We've
Macau.
still got some. We've still got some here.
Yeah, so younger brother, he got them all because I didn't want to play with cars anymore because I was trying to be fucking cool. Well, I never was cool. I should have kept playing with Matchbox cars. But the point is, I gave it to him, and what happened? He fucked them. Not only did he...
the axles from pushing down on
No, you know what used to happen? Quote me if I'm wrong.
It's all true.
Quote me if I'm wrong. This is what he used to do. He'd be playing with the cars that I gave him, and at that time, I didn't really put stock in collectibles or anything like this. And one day he says to me, "Oh, there's been a car accident." And I'm like, "What the fuck? Where? Where? The fucking front of the street?" He goes, "No, there's been a car accident." I'm like, fuck, I got to see this. So I go out the back. And what he's done is he's gone to Dad's shed and got the petrol for the lawnmower and poured it over the cars. And I don't know where he's found it, but he's found some matches and he's lit them up.
Flaming red.
Their fucking cars went on fire. These are my cars that I had in the cardboard box. I gave them to him.
Children don't get that quality play anymore.
He used to do it all the time. He goes, "Oh, there's been an accident in the sand."
It was exciting.
He goes, "Oh,
fucking unreal.
There's been an accident in the sand."
Then I
pit."
discovered WD-40.
He had a
matches?
okay.
It's a fine smell.
We should get him on. He had a friend called Foz.
Yep, still around.
He's a fucking delinquent to this day.
He hasn't
right?
changed, yeah.
He used to get WD-40 and he'd get the nozzle and he'd get a lighter, and what he'd do was he used to blow up the spiders.
Spiders, yeah.
There used to be these orb weavers.
I think better yet, mate. I remember this one time he had a massive ant's nest and he filled it with petrol and fucking blew it to smithereens.
We used to live in that. We used to live out in obviously near the bushland there, and there were these big bull ants that make these big nests, right?
Yeah.
And occasionally you'd walk across them and you'd stir them up.
Cranky, yeah.
But not this kid, Foz. No, he was a fucking delinquent. What he would do, he'd get petrol and he'd pour it down the holes. Now that probably, I'd say, messed a few of the ants up.
Yeah, the petrol alone probably didn't help.
I think that would have.
Healthiest thing for an ant, yeah.
So then he wasn't satisfied with that, because then he'd get WD-40 and he'd fucking with it, and then he'd light it up. He'd light the whole thing up. The whole thing.
As you well know, those nests go quite a way.
And these are big nests. Like, I'm talking like, when you go out into the bush and you see a termite's nest.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about. We're talking like a big mound of ants.
And kids don't get this play anymore.
He did that a lot. He did a lot of that stuff. And so this guy, he would occasionally go, "Oh, there's been an accident." And you're like, he's gone to Dad's shit. And the best thing is the old man would go, "Fuck, I'm out of petrol again." He wouldn't work out. He couldn't work out. He's like, "Fuck." Like, because he'd go to start the mower up.
Something's wrong with the mower.
He goes, "Something's wrong with the mower." Fuck. And this is before, back in those days.
That's what you get when you teach 5-year-old kids how to push a lawnmower.
See, I think now you need like jerry cans to fill petrol up at a petrol station. Back then, you didn't give a fuck. You went up there with it. You had this shitty.
He had a big tarp, big fucking.
No, he had a tin.
Yeah, did he?
Yeah, it was covered in oil and all sorts of shit. And he used to have this tin. And when you got a bit older and I started driving, he'd be like, "Go fill up the fucking petrol." and you'd have this tin. And I'll never forget, because one day I went up there, and Bruno, who used to run the shop, he'd run out and he'd go, no, you can't do that anymore.
This is the same Bruno that used to piss on the fires as the bushfires that went
Yeah,
past.
he goes, I'll teach the fires. He used to go out the back and piss on fire. But I like that was going to do a lot. Oh, fuck, the stories. Fuck it, I could go on. Right. But he was like, you can't do this. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't do this? He goes, well, you need a jerry can. I go, well, fucking tell the old man that. He fucking sent me up here with his barrel tin thing. He goes, oh, come on. Okay.
You know I'm going to get belted if I go home without petrol.
Because the old man was an Italian like he is. You got a pass. So then go home, I go, Dad, we can't use this tin anymore. Fuck him, I fucking use what I want. But he could never work out why the petrol would go down. That's because this little prick was setting cars alight. Because cars would have accidents, right?
Yeah, realism.
Too much American TV.
Yeah,
everything. There was
too many fucking video games.
Everything was like was that an accident?
It's funny now because my son does the same thing. It's quite hilarious.
But what I didn't,
minus the petrol.
What I didn't realize was, what I didn't realize at the time was that he was burning collectibles.
Oh.
Right. So if the DeLorean was parked out the front and Doc pulled up and go, hey, Marty, you want to go back to 1985? I go, well, let's go back further. This fucker's done some damage. It's before 1985. He started chewing on my Atari 2600 joysticks at fucking 1983. Right. And then the worst thing was we used to get the third-party joysticks.
Yeah.
We didn't get the Atari ones because they were more expensive. And Dad's like,
ain't getting that shit.
So you'd get they were fucking shit. They'd snap and they were shit. So, but
that's right. Because the original ones had like a soft plasticky
they did.
Thing, whereas the third party ones were hard and
they were
plastic.
pure plastic.
Yeah.
Right. And what used to happen is the ball, they used to sit on like a ball, a rocker ball. And so they'd snap where the actual stick met the ball. They were quite flimsy. There was no
I remember
no kind of rubber to protect the socket. So the Atari ones, they were kind of like sitting on a rubber thing. The technical people would fucking know, I don't know. But they used to rock back and forth, right? And they were more expensive, right?
They're quite considerably.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you knew you were in trouble when you'd say to Dad, hey, look, the Atari, the joystick's broken, and he'd go, I'll go get one at Kmart. You knew you were fucked.
Yeah.
Because the Kmart only sold the shit ones. They didn't sell the
mind you, you've made it very polite because I guarantee he would not have been that calm with saying, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll just go get one." There is no fucking way our father would have done that.
He made mistakes, and the first one was giving us the Atari because what he didn't realize.
And then the PC, I didn't know.
This is the worst thing is, this is fucking true. He said, I don't know where. I actually don't remember how we got the Atari.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I just remember.
Might have been a Christmas present.
It was a Christmas present, but I don't even remember asking for it. I don't remember.
It was him.
It was all him.
He's always an early adopter.
Yeah, it was early. Yeah. And
So he wanted to play with it.
I don't know because he's not into it. He never did.
He never played video games. Never did any of that shit.
Because what he actually did was, and he didn't know this at the time, he basically gave drug addicts smack, recovering drug addicts smack, and he goes, "Here you go. I think you might like it." And
I've been addicted to gaming ever since.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
we may have dabbled.
I would like to cover that topic. There have been times when actually I was a functioning human being that I didn't play at all.
I didn't
play. No, there are many years. Over many years, I didn't play.
Then you
But
relapse. Huh?
yes, and I can go into very big detail on that.
Should be a group for that.
That's when we need Peter, other Peter to come in.
We need other
as well.
Peter for that
because he's fucking next level.
Yeah, he's I could tell you stories about this. I could tell you stories about that guy. But he gave us this Atari, and I remember thinking,
Crystal Castles.
There was Crystal Castles. There was Dodgem.
You used to love.
I love Dodgem.
No. There was Dodgem. There was Asteroid. You used to love. What was the
Missile Command?
Missile Commander.
Missile Command
I remember that.
was the shit. The first thing about Missile Command was the artwork. Can you Google that?
I can. Missile Command.
Missile Command to me had the coolest artwork I've ever fucking seen.
Background color kept changing.
It looked like futuristic, like something unbelievable, and I never really got why the Atari never looked like the artwork, because the artwork was fucking like some artist made that artwork.
Artist rendition. Yeah.
So Missile Command, that's not the original. The orange one is.
That is, yeah.
The one I had anyway. Maybe it was different.
I remember that. That was on my first Palm Pilot.
Yeah. That's the one. That is the one.
Yeah.
That one there. Number 34. Because if you remember, for some reason, Atari used to number their games.
They did too. It was like chapter books.
That's right.
Shit,
so that's number 34.
Yeah.
That silver one was of the 7200 era. That was like a newer era Atari one. You could tell by the artwork. The top one, the orange one, is the original. I think it's the original. Well, it's a very early artwork.
We definitely had. Yeah.
Right. I don't know about the blue one. Maybe it's a different region. I don't know what that blue one is. But we had the orange one. That one.
Yeah.
And anyway, so we had a fucking lot of games, and we had them in the boxes, and they were pristine because that was before this fucker started lighting them up. Right.
Games too.
Oh, he would if he got a chance.
I may have had some problems.
He was anything he could get his hands on, he'd burn.
Trouble
right.
There, yeah.
Oh shit, yeah. But he didn't mess those up too badly. But
makings of a supervillain.
But we did make a big.
Just not intelligent enough.
We made a big mistake. There were two things. Talking about UV light earlier on.
That room got hot too.
That room got hot, and where we used to store those game boxes were right up against the window.
Yeah.
And so as time went on, they got
faded.
Brittle.
And the cartridges got brittle too.
The cartridges
they just stopped working. They were dusty. You had to wiggle them to fucking work.
What happens there is by nature the actual gold connectors deteriorate.
Yeah.
And so it's actually very hard now to find any
they've shit themselves.
Atari 2600 game that works very well. Because it's so old now, but they we had them in boxes, pretty pristine. And then I remember the day very clearly, because Mum said you don't play it anymore because we'd moved on. I think we'd moved on to we'd moved on to the PC.
Yeah, we were PC gamers primarily.
And we decided that was it. I'm not gonna play the Atari anymore. It looks like shit. Yeah. Fuck it. And then Mum just got a garbage bag one day, and she put them all in there, and she says, I'm giving it to your cousin.
Oh, that's right. Gave it to Lisa.
She gave it to Lisa. And I was like, okay.
That's enough.
Get her on the phone right
now.
Well, you could totally get her on the phone right now. She'd be on the podcast in a heartbeat.
She'd be very good on the podcast. Yeah.
What happened to it? What happened?
I don't know what happened to it, but I do know that they were lost in time.
Yeah.
And if they were even when they were thrown out, they weren't pristine because the boxes were very yellowed or very faded. They weren't pristine. The games were not really running. You had to jiggle.
Some of them weren't working at all.
There was some issues.
I remember Lisa had a fairly big collection of games as well, from memory.
Yeah, she had a fairly. But no, that was Kate.
That was Kate, was it?
Yeah, she had the Nintendo Entertainment System.
That's right. Fuck,
that was the shit.
And our other cousin had the Sega.
That was Kate. She had the Mega Drive. And that was the shit as well.
Mm-hmm.
But we had the
never
Atari.
Had a Mega Drive.
We went
to PC to PlayStation.
We went, and that was it. Then the addiction really fucking kicked in.
Yeah, we had some problems.
I had some major issues.
Zeliard was the one that got us.
Okay, so PC. That was
TIE Fighter, Zeliard.
No,
Zeliard, mate.
no,
I remember
no.
listening to
No.
I'm too sexy for my shirt.
No. You're wrong.
Oh, it was before then.
Before then.
Yeah, the 286, mate.
The 286.
Fuzzy Zola Golf or whatever it was.
We'll go further.
Yeah, all right.
Leisure Suit Larry.
No, that was
the first game.
And Space Quest, Police Quest.
All the Sierra games. So Space, King's Quest, Heroes Quest.
Yep. Heroes Quest was a good one.
King's Quest.
King's Quest was a good one.
Now, here's the thing.
Yep.
I remember, I'll never forget it, because King's Quest 4 was the first game that supported VGA graphics, which was 256 colours displayed at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty rare in 1990 to have a VGA capable PC.
But we fucking did.
Right? And the reason why we did was because
Dad's an early adopter.
Dad said he's an early adopter, and he said, listen, I think as you're getting closer to uni, which was my case, you need to like learn more about computers because they're the future. He was a fucking pioneer in 1990. And I said, don't disagree. Because before that, I'd gotten addicted to the Amiga 500.
Through Gavin.
Exactly. Another cousin of ours. He had the Amiga 500 and that thing fucking rocked. And anyway, I really, really, really wanted an Amiga 500, but the old man wasn't having it. He was like, nah, doesn't have the specs. So anyway, he bought a PC, but he broke my heart because he comes home and he says, all right, here's a manual. And it was this thick fucking manual. I want you to learn Lotus 123.
Lotus Notes. You were using that up until quite recently.
No, Lotus 123 was the spreadsheet program.
And you had Word. What was Word?
WordPerfect. WordPerfect version 5.
Ah, the dot matrix.
But it was a good one. But it was for MS DOS.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember Windows 3.1. You used to have to actually get Windows to run from MS DOS.
I'll go back a step. Yeah. You forget. You're too young.
Oh no. Well, I remember Windows wasn't even running. That was the 486 days.
No, you forget. Your mind is
X3 Gold.
You forget. We had Windows version 3.
Yeah.
And that was
not for work groups. I had 3.11.
Yeah, well, we did go to 3.11, but we started off with version 3. Right? And version 3 was not running too good on a 286 with 1 megabyte of RAM. Right?
I just remember X3 Gold.
We actually ran X3 Pro because we didn't have gold. We're living in poverty.
I had the gold, but it was a pirated version.
Yeah, we had pirated too.
Yeah.
But it was X3 Pro.
Was there such thing as legitimate software back then?
We had X3 Pro. Yeah. Gold was like
the gold standard.
Yeah, that was
the name.
That was like Donkey Kong in the fucking schoolyard. That was the shit.
Yeah.
But we had that, and then as the game, we actually had Lotus 123, WordPerfect, and we were expected to learn that shit. And so we learnt the basics pretty quick.
Yeah.
Right? And so Dad was fucking destroyed because he brought home Battle Chess as a game. We got Leisure Suit Larry.
Which is totally appropriate for young children.
I learned that you can't have sex with hookers without protection because you die in Leisure Suit Larry when you don't.
Is there a rumored cheat code for that where it was explicit?
Yeah, you could do
this. Is it real?
Yeah, because you could turn the sensor off. There was a sensor.
That's right. It was fuzzed out.
It was censored. It was like a bar. You could turn that off.
Because the graphic quality was so outstanding that you wouldn't want to see his cock.
It made all the difference, right? But we used to play that. But I really loved the Sierra games because they had like. Leisure Suit Larry was funny and was fun.
Well, for the kids these days, but the fact that you'd have to type in the sentences.
Yeah, I know, but I really loved Space Quest the most.
Space Quest was a good one, wasn't it?
And I loved Heroes Quest, and I loved King's Quest as well. But King's Quest 4 was like the game, as I was saying before, where you could really show off to your friends that you had a powerful PC.
Isn't that the game where under the bridge there was a gold nugget that you had to get? I just have this vision. Fuck, man, I just remember playing the shit out of that game.
But King's Quest looked amazing.
Looked the shit, yeah.
Right, and then... like the golf game started as well, so there was Lynx.
Yeah,
that was amazing. And then later on there was Lynx 386, and that broke my heart because you needed a 386 to play that, and I didn't have one.
Yeah,
and
we had to wait for Doom to convince that.
And then this was the most demoralizing. I'll never forget
that. Was 486.
That no, let me tell you the fucking day because I'll never forget it. It was, I don't know the exact date, but it was November 1993. And I didn't fucking I didn't Google.
Yeah, no,
I just know.
There was no Google going on.
It was a very, very hot day. And it was, I went to Games Wizards, which are no longer around, by the way.
No, they're not.
Right?
Yeah. Is that the dude that got murdered?
I don't know.
Or was that Gamesman?
Who got murdered?
No, there was a robbery in the store, and it might have been the Gamesman. They went out of business because he got.
Games Wizard?
Yeah, sorry.
Fucked if I know what he's talking about. But I went to This is unbelievable, right? I went to Games Wizards, and I'll never fucking forget. There were two things that struck me. I went in there, and they used to have a kiosk of PC games. Back then, it was Mega Drive and Super Nintendo were pretty big business, but we were PC, and they had a kiosk for PCs running games. And there was this guy in there that was a real nerdy guy, bald guy, bit overweight.
Basically us.
Fucking me now, right? Little did I know I was looking at my fucking future, right? And this guy was like, I'll never forget. I think he obviously fucking like me. I'm not married. No one loves me. And he's walking around, and he's like,
comic book guy.
I've got. He was the 1990s version of the comic book guy. This guy, and he was like, had thick glasses, all that shit. And he's like, I've got nothing to play, man. I'm bored. And he must have been a regular in the shop because everyone was like, oh, fuck, we drop everything and help this guy. He's sunk some money into this joint. And back then, unlike now, back then there was a lot of people working in this shop. This was a big fucking shop. And there must have been 5 or 6 young people working in the shop. And 3 of them came up to him and said, hey, I can't remember his name. Hey, whatever. Have you played this game? Have you played that? Oh, I played it, fucking played it. He'd played everything. And then someone said, oh, what about this? And there was this game running and it looked amazing. And I'm like, because I'm following this guy. And I saw it and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was seeing like a fully animated shotgun, reloading, and there were these demons on the screen, and I'd never seen anything like it blew my mind. Anyway, the guy says, well, what's that? And he says, the shop person that's working the shop says, oh, it's this game called Doom. And I'm listening here now because I really like what I'm seeing. And the guy goes, oh, that looks pretty cool. And the young kid says, well, I can give it to you because it's on shareware. So you remember the shareware stuff. Demo version. Yeah. So they don't really, they're sort of coming back now a little bit, but not shareware, but they give you like a demo, a level. But back then it was big business, the demos. And he says, listen, if you don't like it, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a shareware version of it. And everyone knew what shareware was. And it's the first episode of the game, and you'll really get to know the game by the end of that level.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not. And this guy was like, oh, that's okay. And I'm thinking, cool, So he gets a copy of the game and fucks off, and I'm hanging around, and the guy comes up to me and he's like, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, man, I've got to have this game, man. I've got to have it now. Fucking now. And he's like, well, have you got it's a pretty powerful game. Like, you really need a powerful PC to run it. And he goes, have you got a 386? And I said, no. I've got a 286. He goes, well, won't run, man. I go, yeah, maybe it'll run badly and I've got to make the window. Because if you remember doing, you make the window smaller. I said, well, what if I make the window really small and it runs okay? He goes, no, it won't run at all. I go, no. What if I just fucking do this and do that shit? What if I turn that off, turn this on? He goes, no, it won't work. And I'm like, fuck.
Down the RAM.
Yeah.
So
it's the processor in general.
So here's a story I've never shared with anyone. Nobody. Nobody. I was fucking desperate. And a mate of mine had recently upgraded his PC and he had a 486 DX33 with 8 megabytes of RAM.
8?
Fucking fuck. In 1993, this was a fuck. I couldn't...
That's a beast.
That's $2,000 worth of RAM.
Oh, it was a lot of money. He spent a lot of money on it. I don't know how. I think his parents were like doing well in life and they wanted to help little Pedro out and make him sure he'd turn out all right. Arguable if he did or not, but that's another story.
That's another question. We'll bring him in for that conversation. Anyway, he was playing Doom like a bullshit amount. And I used to go up there and we'd have a few drinks because he used to live in a granny flat and I'd go up there and play Doom. I had to travel 40 minutes in a fucking Holden Gemini with no air conditioning in summer that was overheating 3 or 4 times on the way up the friggin' hill to play Doom, and I did it. I fucking did it. God was testing me this day and I was not having it. Anyway, I'd get my Doom fix and I'd come back and I had an assignment or something for school or for uni, and I made a story up that the PC wasn't up to running the program I needed to run. So I said to Dad, look, I really need the new PC. And he goes, well, you need to earn some money. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll do something. I'll get some jobs or whatever. And I must earn a little bit of pocket money. And I said, look, we really need a PC, Dad, because I cannot. I need to run. The bullshit was they're teaching us Word. They're teaching us Microsoft Word for Windows 2.0, and it just ain't running on the PC. I've tried it, Dad. It won't work. And that was partly true.
Partly true.
But not really.
Yeah, I reckon it probably
But not really fucking true. Because we were still using WordPerfect on 5.0 on MS-DOS.
You must have been in uni at that point.
I was at uni, yeah.
Because there's no fucking public school
this was
in our generation that would have had that
this
shit
is uni.
going.
This is uni, right? This is how old I am. And so I'm like, well, they're teaching us, and they were. This is actually true. Because back then, people don't realise this now, but back then, even at universities, they
were handwriting assignments and
computer science was basically, you go into the laboratory, and you'd sit at a bunch of computers, PCs back then, and you'd learn how to email each other. I'm fucking not making that up. That was...
I remember
You
that.
know what's funny, though? I guarantee you there are some students doing that same course as we speak.
You'd learn how to email each other, but it used to be on it wasn't Outlook, it wasn't Notes. It was before. It was some MS-DOS...
Pegasus or something.
It was might have been Pegasus, right? This is a really old program.
Yep.
And we were learning how to email each other and all that shit. And the one thing they were definitely teaching us was like Windows.
Of course.
Windows. And they were teaching us like how you use Windows, how do you do like an essay in Word. Because Word was starting to take off. Because it was leaving, because it had the...
Yeah, WordPerfect was winning.
What was the... what you see is what you get, WYSIWYG?
WYSIWYG.
Yeah.
So it had WYSIWYG. And that was the... See, people won't know what fucking WYSIWYG is now.
No, WYSIWYG's a standard of internet.
WYSIWYG was a big deal in the 90s because WYSIWYG was like, oh, fuck, I got italics. Text,
I can press
I
press the bold button.
Right, whereas in WordPerfect, you didn't know. I think it had like a different color. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'd said to Dad, look, I really need a new PC because they're teaching us Word and this PC won't run it. But in the back of my mind, I just fucking wanted Doom. And I was obsessed with it. And so Dad goes... No, fuck off. Like, get a job. Fuck you. Like, I've given you life. I've given you food. You're not having it. Well, anyway, I'm like, well, because he'd seen us play the PC that we had too much.
We did play quite a bit.
And he'd be like coming into the room going, he'd say shit like this. He'd go, do you know how many spins a hard drive has? And I go, I don't fucking know. He goes, well, let me tell you, it doesn't have like... Infinite fucking spins. I'm telling you now, you're wearing it out. And you're wearing it out. Play fucking games! Right? And he was right, man. He was on a roll. Yeah, he had me over a barrel. Yeah. But I thought I was being smart by saying, hey, you know what? If you just get me a new PC, I will be the productive son you've always wanted me to be. And after a while, he jumped on board.
Yeah.
And then we got a 486, and it was
the X266.
It's a nice one.
And I think it had 16 meg.
Wow.
It was
legit.
It was just before the Pentiums, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And Dad was saying, because then they started advertising Pentium.
Yep. You should have fucking waited.
Should have fucking waited.
And that was like the thing for every year from there on out. Should have fucking waited because there was always a new
model.
Yeah.
Should have fucking waited.
Can't keep waiting.
Should have fucking waited. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. But I didn't give a shit because I had Doom. Yeah. And I was playing Doom. And it was the only time... It was a great game. I wish Pedro was here. It was the only time Pedro came to our place for dinner.
And he was jealous of us
for a change because he was like, are you playing Ultima 8? And I'm like, yeah, man, I've been playing Ultima 8. It's the fucking shit. And he's like, can I see it run? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, oh, yeah, the frame rates are a bit better on your computer than my computer. And it was like, that was it. It was on, man. Yeah. And so, yeah, I was obsessed with Doom. And I was obsessed with, I even liked Doom 2 and all that shit.
Yeah, that's good.
But then Quake came out.
Quake disappointed me. I'm going to be hated for it.
Rogan will cry.
No, I know he will.
I know what you mean. I love Doom 1 and 2. And that's because it was like auto vertical, like the shooting.
Yes, yeah.
But then when Quake came out, you had to use the mouse properly and actually aim at people, and it was like,
fuck that.
I used to play Doom with just keyboard.
There was something about Doom, Quake, that
it's an arena battle. It's a different kind of game.
Look, I'll be honest with you, it did excite me. That was it. It was an arena battle, but there was something about it that got me hyped up for it because. Back then, they were saying Trent Reznor was doing the fucking soundtrack for it. Mm-hmm.
Nine Inch Nails, and I'm like, whoa, okay, this sounds serious. And, you know, Carmack and Ramiro were on fire. They could do no wrong. Little did we know there was a lot of shit going on in the studio. But to me, this was going to be amazing. And then I got it home, and I remember thinking, you're right, it was built for multiplayer more than it was for anything else, even though it did allow you to play single player.
Yeah,
and
it didn't feel right single player.
It didn't feel like Doom did. I don't know why. I know
Doom was an immersive first player. You're all by yourself on a fucking shithole of a place getting
I loved it.
Macaca demons. I mean,
I loved it.
They are the greatest thing ever.
When you first got into multiplayer in Doom, that was amazing.
Oh, we've got stories about that shit.
Yeah,
with the LPT.
Fuck.
Yeah. Now there was a cousin.
Isn't that working?
Where's Gavin when we need him?
Okay, so a cousin of ours, he had the Amiga, and he was like, "Come over, and we'll hook our PCs up and we'll play Doom."
Because he got drink Illusions,
and we'll drink Illusions back then.
Off the fish bowls.
Yeah, all right. So this gets fucking wild.
This was not a good night. So we basically what happened. He said, "Come over, and it was a hot fucking day as well." I don't remember.
He says, "Come over and we'll hook the PCs up and play Doom." I'm like, "Well, I've never done that before. Okay, that sounds interesting." And he goes, "All right." So I got home. I got to his place, and he's all fucking excited. He's like, "Fucking," and he rushes out to greet me. He never does that. And he opens up the door. He goes, "I'll get your PC." And he grabs the PC because back then they were towers, right? Obviously. So and
still are.
And in the Gemini, as you probably may be aware, if those that are listening are not aware, the Gemini had no fucking legroom, but you could fit a PC tower in the back of it, right? And he grabbed the PC tower and he ran into the house where we were setting up the LAN part. What would become a LAN party? These were the original LAN parties, right?
COM port or LPT port.
Right. So back then, his parents, my auntie and uncle, had just renovated their house. Right. That's the colour I had.
Yeah, it was that bright green.
Yeah, that's the car.
Yeah, that might have been a bit newer than yours.
Is that a 2-door or a 4-door? No, that's a 78.
That was a 4-door.
That's my car. That was the car I had.
Yeah, there we go.
That's it.
That fucker there.
Oh.
That was it. That's the model.
The colour, man.
That's the colour.
I remember
that's the colour, and that's the model. That's the year 78.
It looked cool, but God,
that's a TC. Yeah. That's a TC Gemini. That's a 19. That's a later one. That one.
That's what I mean. That's newer than your one was.
No. The green one's mine. Yeah, that silver one.
These are new shit.
They're newer ones, right? That's 80s.
The old one looked better, I reckon.
Yeah,
80s cars were pretty ugly.
Yeah, they lost their way. But anyway, he grabbed the PC. And his parents had just renovated the house, and what they'd done is they put like these French folding doors in the hallway, so kind of like separating the hallway from the
kitchen area.
Yep. Anyway, he's so enthusiastic. I'm chasing him in the house because I've left the mouse in the serial port. Back then they weren't USB; they were serial, right? And it's dragging on the ground, and I'm like, "Dude,
you're dragging the fucking mouse."
You're dragging the fucking mouse. And he's turned around and he's gone bang, and he's knocked the French doors like flying, and it's taken a chunk out of the French doors. And I'm like, "Oh my!"
You're in deep shit, my friend.
Oh fuck! He's fucked. There was damage. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he's gone, "I'll worry about that tomorrow. Tonight is Doom." that set the tone for Doom. And this was a regular thing. And at the time, we didn't realise what was kind of even now kind of bizarre is the LAN parties of the early 2000s. Like Halo really defined the LAN party, in my opinion. Halo was the game that really took that 90s Doom concept of joining the serial cable to two PCs and having multiplayer, which was amazing. And I remember saying that back then to my cousin when we were doing these very early LAN parties. I actually said to him, I go, "You know what? One day, I'd actually think we'll do this without leaving our house." And he'd say, "Fuck off, you've drunk too many Illusions." And I'd say, no, there'll be a day when we don't need.
How did our Gav end that evening?
Okay, he ended up sleeping on the toilet. His head was on the seat of the toilet, and we got his head off with a spatula.
Because he was stuck.
His head was stuck on the toilet because he'd vomited and it kind of congealed, and his head was stuck I'm not making it.
It's fucking all true.
His head
can't make this shit
His
up.
head was stuck on the toilet, and we were having so much fun.
Didn't even notice he was gone. Dano and I are playing.
I kind of got in good with his friends, his school friends. We didn't go to school together, but I got in good. We were the exact same age, about a month apart. So I got in good with his friends, and we'd go out drinking and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, he invited some of his real nerdy gamey friends to come over and play the Doom setup. And fucking 2 hours, 3 hours ago, but where's Gav? Don't know. Fuck him. We're playing Doom. 2 o'clock in the morning, where's Gav?
Fuck me.
Better go look for him. Haven't seen him for hours. And we're looking all over the house, can't find him. Knock on the door, and he's in the toilet. And like the door that we used to have, that was a slide door. Right. Must have been a fucking 70s, 80s thing, those slide doors, right?
Pocket doors,
rather than a proper door.
Yeah.
We're banging on the door. Anyway, we hear this.
Shit.
No, well, we hear this. We hear this. Fuck off. And we're like, Gav, are you all right? Off. So anyway, all right, we'll make sure you're okay. So one of his mates grabs a spatula, the spatula, and Jimmy's the door open. And the door busts wide open and breaks the fucking door. So now the house is a ruined mess. So we've ruined 2 doors now. We broke 2 doors. We ruined the French doors and we broke that door. And I never forget his head. God bless, I love him. His head was on the head like this. And we're like, are you all right? Fuck off. And one of his mates got a spatula and tried to spatula his head off the tour. I'll never forget. But when we realised he was all right, it was cool. We went back playing Doom.
Left him there?
We left him there. That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted.
He told us to fuck off.
He told us to fuck off, and we did. So we left him there. And it was...
a bed and a bucket would be a better option.
Nah, fuck him.
No, fuck him. Okay. We were playing Doom. You don't understand the obsession Doom was for me. Like, I got it. I travelled to... like past Razorback, which if you know, do you know where that is?
Oh, it's familiar.
Past Picton.
Yes.
So that for where we were living was a 45-minute drive
on some very dicey fucking roads.
Country roads back in the 90s, which was like not well maintained. Yeah. Lots of dead kangaroos and all sorts of lots of fucking shit everywhere.
Lots of bad shit. Wombats.
And an unreliable overheating Gemini. That Gemini pulled up a 40-gallon drum one time in the back of it when we had a party. And when Pedro comes on the podcast, I asked him about his 18th birthday party. A fucking car went in the side of his house. That's another story. That was another night where he goes, I'll do all that tomorrow morning. It just went out of control. But Doom was an obsession and nothing would stop me. I would travel to his place to play Doom. We would go to my cousin's place to play Doom where we did the LAN connection. Yeah. And we didn't know it at the time, but that was really the beginning of the LAN party. But that was more of the 2000s. That
was the beginning of multiplayer in
where
general.
We had the... Well, Halo was really that... This is before Xbox Live, I would argue.
Well, yeah.
And so that was when Halo was definitely a very kind of well-balanced game. It was great for single player, but it was also great for multiplayer. It was a fucking awesome game.
Anyone who hasn't played it, I'm going
home to play it now. Fuck it, I am. I'm playing with Pedro tonight. Yeah. That's why I got to get some coffee in me. I'm staying up playing Halo tonight. But we used to have the LAN parties, but that was a bigger deal. That's when you'd get like a couple of Xboxes and you'd make them. I can't remember how you did it, but we used to do it. And so linking of the PCs, I remember saying, one day we won't need to do this. Well, this will all be done at home. We can be at home and do this. And I don't think younger people realise just how easy it is now to connect.
Oh, God, back then.
Because back then it was a pain in the ass.
You got to get it all.
Edit your config settings.
Yeah, it was an absolute pain in the ass.
Auto exec back. You had to fuck around with that.
Which if you fucked up, you fucked your PC.
You fucked your PC. And you used to like, the serial port was a bit weird. You used to show was it the baud rate?
Yeah, to set the baud rate right. And there was three things you had to set, I think.
There was a couple of things you had to mess around with, because if you didn't do it, the Doom...
Interrupt had to
That's it, the interrupt. The I.O. port had to be... So if you didn't do it right, the Marine would either be stuck or he would be 100 miles an hour. It was crazy. Yeah, but we used to do it. And there would always be someone that would know how to do it, you know. But It was like,
oh man, I love that until one person actually got the cheat codes, and the damn thing, you could run the cheat codes in multiplayer.
IDDKFA, IDDQD.
oh yeah, IDQ,
IDDQD, IDKFA.
Yeah.
And so we were wondering, was he moving twice as fast as the rest?
Yeah. He'd go through walls as well, turn off clipping.
Clipping.
And he'd be like,
motherfucker.
what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's faster than
It's a game breaker when people start cheating.
Doom was. I know it wasn't the first FPS that was out there.
No, of course.
Wolfenstein. Well, even there were earlier games than Wolfenstein as FPSs.
It didn't have the walking in Wolfenstein, so you feel seasick playing.
But Wolfenstein,
I did like it though.
Wolfenstein was also very important for the shit.
Yeah, that's how I learned German.
My Leben,
Achtung!
my Leben, my Leben.
Achtung!
But that Wolfenstein was very important because I think it was one of the games that really set the shareware movement forward. Because in the 90s, share was... I think people have forgotten what shareware...
It was fucking everything.
It was so big.
Remember you used to get the PC mag. It used to be just...
You would... Front of the mag.
Front of the mag, mate.
300.
300 games and
you would...
Lots of spyware.
Yeah, you'd get so much...
Yeah, Early on it was okay. Eventually it was...
Yeah, your computer's okay now, but we're going to fuck it because we're going to give you something that your
That's right.
games really... your PC really doesn't...
Speed up your memory.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you're not.
The best one back in those days was... Having trouble with conventional memory? You need to expand your 640K. Oh, this program will do it.
Yeah.
You remember that? Because that used to shit me. I had a megabyte of RAM.
Because there was a limit of 640K.
That's right. So MS-DOS had this weird, because in the original versions of MS-DOS, in the XT models of PCs, they only allowed for 640K memory, right? That's my basic understanding. I'm probably wrong.
Yep.
But if you're... Later on, the ATs came with expanded memory, so you could expand them to 1 meg, 2 meg, and so ours, for example, had 384K expanded memory to make up the 1024 kilobyte. So you would sit there and do your head in because you'd go, hang on, you're telling me I don't have enough memory, but I've got a fucking megabyte, and you'd be like, now I've got to fuck around with the auto config sys, the auto exec bat file, because I don't...
Get rid of all the drivers you don't need.
All that shit.
As you look back at that now, it was actually kind of fun, and really, that's how we learn as much about PCs as what we probably do. You basically had to know programming just to use the fucking thing.
Well, to get to any kind of executable file, you had to know some basic MS-DOS.
CD dot CD.
You had to know something, and I think again
I still use it every fucking day.
I mean, really now, I'm not talking the programmers or developers or the high-end users. I'm talking about the average Joe Blow that uses a PC or a Mac. They really are dumb. They've dumbed us down in a lot of ways because all you do is
point and click.
And the Mac was responsible for that. The Mac brought that. Xerox did that, but that's another fucking story. But we take it all for granted. And playing games on PCs, I think everyone forgets how hard it was, even up until like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Steam made it really easy.
Steam did, yeah.
As much as I fucking
hate Steam. That's a conversation for another day.
We have to wrap this up. I'm busting for a piss. But at the end of the day, and I can't walk past Steam and the camera.
It's awkward. It's fucking awkward.
But it's not even lunchtime. It's dinner time now.
Yeah, it's nearly 5 o'clock.
Oh, I got to bust a move, man.
Yeah, all right.
I got to bust a move.
We'll wrap that. We'll fucking bitch about Steam next time.
And I want to talk about 2019 and what I see the gaming landscape is, because I think we need to talk about that, and I want to know more about tubes and pottery, and blowing things up, pottery and extruding. And all that shit. That's what I want to fucking learn about.
That's it. I reckon we get Pedro in soon. We'll talk to. We've got to.
I want to actually get a yellow bit of plastic white on this table.
What's that?
Well,
Do it. Go nuts. This table's fucked.
Well, do the googling on the True White. I think True Bond, whatever.
True White, whatever. Yeah.
It's not hard to do, but it's actually very easy to fuck it.
Yeah.
And
all the more amusing.
That's it. If you fuck the table, I just have to buy another one.
If you've got a UV lamp,
I don't give a fuck.
You're in the box seat, and you've got access to hydrogen peroxide.
This is where we stop talking about what he has access to.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Rate, comment, and subscribe for the best news and all sorts of things in pottery and everything else. And if you want to go back down to memory lane and retro memory lane
and talk shit, you know where to find us.
All 2 of you that have listened, thank you.
We didn't mention Comanche.
Comanche.
Oh, Comanche.
Oh fuck.
Oh man, I got to go, man.
Was that before Doom? That was before Doom.
Comanche was early. It was late 80s, I think.
Yeah.
I think that was late 80s.
Showing your age,
Pete. I played
Pete.
that on the 486 and it really went way too fast.
I think
I was trying to load all the apps I could to slow my computer down so I could play Comanche.
He multitasking the fucking computer to slow it down.
Because it didn't have a governor in it. It just ran at machine speed. And so the machine speed was way too high and the helicopter just went like nuts. It was like going so fast.
I think it's an 80s game.
Yeah, we can Google that shit.
I'm done. My throat's done. I'm
done.
Sure it was 3D.
See you later, folks.
See you later, folks. Thank you for tuning in. All 2 of you. Thanks, Mum, for sponsoring this. We're now going to have something to eat, and we will have a more structured podcast in the future. We thank you for your patronage. We don't have a Patreon, and God bless you. Until then,
later.